Welcome to the Bare Metal Cyber CISO Prepcast. This series helps you prepare for the exam with focused explanations and practical context. Physical security remains a foundational yet often underappreciated aspect of enterprise cybersecurity programs. Without protection of the physical environment, even the most advanced digital controls can be bypassed or rendered ineffective. Physical security safeguards critical infrastructure, personnel, systems, and sensitive information against unauthorized physical access, environmental threats, and disruption of operations. It supports a defense-in-depth model by reinforcing perimeter defenses and serving as the first barrier to intrusion. Frameworks, such as ISO 27001, PCI DSS, and NIST, explicitly require physical controls to protect systems and data. From data centers to branch offices, physical safeguards must be tightly integrated with cybersecurity strategy. As part of their role, the CISO must ensure that physical security measures are addressed within the organization's broader risk and governance programs. The CISO's responsibility in physical security is both strategic and operational. At the strategic level, the CISO ensures that physical security policies align with enterprise cyber risk tolerance, business needs, and compliance obligations. These policies must define the expectations for site protection, access controls, and incident response across all locations. Operationally, the CISO collaborates with facilities, legal, HR, and security personnel to enforce controls around building access, surveillance, visitor management, and emergency preparedness. CISO oversight includes reviewing access control logs, incident reports, and environmental system alerts to detect vulnerabilities or compliance gaps. The CISO must also ensure that physical access controls are integrated with logical access systems, creating a unified view of user behavior and enabling correlation for audit and investigation purposes. Physical security programs include several key elements designed to deter, detect, delay, respond to, and recover from physical threats. Deterrence measures include clear signage, security lighting, and visible surveillance to discourage unauthorized access attempts. Detection is achieved through alarm systems, motion detectors, and continuous video surveillance. Delay mechanisms, such as reinforced doors, cages, turnstiles, and man-traps, buy time for response efforts by impeding unauthorized entry. Response includes on-site security personnel, emergency communication plans, and pre-established relationships with law enforcement and emergency responders. Recovery capabilities include documented incident procedures, failover locations, and the ability to restore facility functions after an event. Each of these elements must be tailored to the facility's risk profile and operational importance. Facility access control mechanisms are the first line of defense against physical intrusion. Most organizations use badge-based access systems that log entry and exit activity. Biometric systems may be used for higher assurance, especially in sensitive areas such as data centers. Access should be zoned by role or clearance level, preventing users from entering areas unrelated to their job functions. Anti-tailgating controls, including man-traps and optical turnstiles, reduce the risk of unauthorized entry through social engineering or tailing. Visitors should follow a controlled process that includes sign-in, escorting, and badge deactivation. All access activity should be logged and subject to periodic review. The CISO ensures that these access controls are enforced consistently and integrated with identity governance systems for alignment and audit readiness. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other podcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Data centers and infrastructure hubs require the highest level of physical protection. These sites must be designed to resist intrusion, environmental threats, and mechanical failure. Best practices include hardened construction, limited entry points, and complete surveillance coverage. Redundant power systems, uninterruptible power supplies, and fire suppression capabilities help ensure uptime and equipment preservation. Sensitive equipment such as routers, switches, and storage arrays must be physically segmented and housed in locked enclosures. Cable management must prevent unauthorized access or tampering with secured routing and physical port protection. Access to these spaces must be limited to authorized personnel, with strict procedures for credentialing, logging, and revocation. The CSIO ensures that data center controls are aligned with industry standards and reflected in security policies and compliance documentation. Environmental and facility controls protect assets against natural and infrastructure threats. Fire detection systems, such as smoke sensors and clean agent suppression systems, are essential to prevent damage from heat or smoke. Flood sensors, elevated flooring, and drainage planning mitigate water damage, especially in lower-level facilities or flood-prone areas. Climate control systems must maintain proper temperature and humidity ranges to avoid equipment degradation or failure. Power resilience measures include UPS systems, redundant power feeds and generators to handle outages. Business continuity requires planning for disruptions from earthquakes, severe weather, or civil unrest. The CISO is responsible for ensuring that environmental safeguards are monitored, tested, and included in risk assessments and incident response planning. Monitoring and logging of physical access is necessary for both security and compliance. Centralized access management platforms must log all badge activity and integrate with identity and CM systems for comprehensive visibility. Real-time alerts should be generated for policy violations, such as after-housed access or attempts to enter restricted zones. Logs must be reviewed regularly and reconciled against current access rights, especially after role changes or terminations. Surveillance footage must be retained in accordance with legal and policy requirements, with encryption and access controls to prevent tampering. The CISO ensures that logs and video records are available for audits, investigations, and operational reviews, and that monitoring is maintained continuously at critical sites. Governance integration is vital to ensure that physical security aligns with other enterprise security functions. Physical security policies must define protection levels based on facility type, asset sensitivity, and risk tolerance. Risk assessments and audits should include evaluation of physical vulnerabilities, control coverage, and incident history. Onboarding and offboarding processes must involve physical access provisioning and deactivation steps. Physical controls must be mapped to frameworks such as ISO 27 and 1 Annex A or NIST SP 853. Training for employees and contractors should include awareness of physical security expectations, how to report anomalies, and emergency procedures. The CISO ensures that policy enforcement, training, and governance all support a unified enterprise security program. Third-party and remote locations often introduce gaps in physical security. The CISO must validate the physical protections used by cloud providers, hosting vendors, and service partners. SOC 2 Type 2 reports and certifications help verify third-party controls. Branch offices, remote warehouses, and shared office environments require physical assessments to determine adequacy. Organizations using co-working spaces must define minimum security standards and enforce access control. Physical media, such as hard drives and backup tapes, must be securely destroyed using shredders or degaussing tools. Contractor access must be controlled with background checks, temporary credentials, and escort requirements. The CISO is responsible for documenting and validating these controls across the extended enterprise. The CCCSO exam includes physical security as a component of executive-level security governance. Terminology such as man-trap, clean agent, UPS, badge audit, and CCTV may appear in scenario-based questions. Candidates may be asked to address access control violations, environmental incidents, or facility-level policy shortcomings. The CISO's role in this domain includes policy oversight, alignment with logical access systems, coordination with facilities and HR, and integration with risk and compliance programs. Physical security is not a silo. It is an essential part of protecting enterprise assets and must be governed alongside digital controls to provide complete protection. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Bare Metal CyberC CISO Prepcast. For more episodes, tools, and study support, visit us at baremetalcyber.com.